The saying, "an apple a day keeps the doctor away," has been circulating long enough to have become a cliché, which makes it easy to dismiss without seriously examining whether the underlying premise has any scientific merit. It turns out the data on regular apple consumption is more interesting than the aphorism's familiarity suggests, not because apples are nutritionally spectacular by the numbers, but because the combination of specific compounds they contain appears to produce health effects that the raw nutrient data doesn't fully predict. A medium apple with skin provides 4.4 grams of fiber, 14% of the daily value for vitamin C, and approximately 95 calories. On raw numbers alone, this is a respectable but not remarkable nutritional profile. The more interesting story lies in the polyphenol chemistry. Apples are one of the richest dietary sources of quercetin, a flavonoid with anti-inflammatory properties studied in the context of heart disease, cancer, and lung function, as well as procyanidins and chlorogenic acid, all concentrated primarily in and just under the skin. Population studies associating apple consumption with health outcomes consistently find stronger associations in people who eat the skin, which is where the argument for choosing organic or washing conventional apples thoroughly becomes genuinely relevant rather than reflexively precautionary. The pectin in apples deserves particular mention. Pectin is a soluble fiber with impressive cholesterol-lowering properties. It forms a gel in the intestine that binds bile acids and forces the liver to draw LDL cholesterol from the bloodstream for bile synthesis. Beyond cholesterol effects, pectin acts as a potent prebiotic, selectively feeding beneficial bifidobacterium and lactobacillus species in the gut. Research using pectin isolates has shown significant microbiome-favorable shifts with regular consumption, suggesting that an apple's fiber is qualitatively significant, not merely quantitatively notable. Cardiovascular research on apple consumption is notably consistent. The Women's Health Study, the Nurses' Health Study, and various European cohort studies have all found reduced coronary heart disease risk in high apple consumers. A Finnish study found that apple consumption was more strongly inversely associated with cerebrovascular disease than consumption of most other fruits and vegetables studied. There are meaningful cautions for specific populations. Apples are high in fructose and sorbitol, both of which are FODMAPs, fermentable carbohydrates that can trigger symptoms in people with irritable bowel syndrome. For this population, Granny Smith apples contain less fructose than sweeter varieties and may be better tolerated, though individual response varies. Diabetics should eat apples with a protein or fat source, nut butter, cheese, to blunt the glycemic response, though apples' moderate glycemic index, 36 for a whole apple, means they are considerably less problematic than most sweet foods. The pesticide argument around apples has some legitimacy. They consistently appear on the Environmental Working Group's Dirty Dozen list for conventional produce residues. But the net health benefit of eating a conventional apple almost certainly outweighs the risk of trace pesticide exposure for most healthy adults. Washing thoroughly and eating the skin remains the best practical balance.